how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out the second solo from Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, of course played by Slash. Very, very good build on the first solo, so make sure that you got that first solo down first of all. There's a couple of little twists and turns that I'm going to explain to you along the way where I think that it might be played one way, or things that might have happened over. It sounds like there might even be an overdub or two in there, but I'll explain that as we go in the close-up. Do remember that there's some extra notes on the website that will help you with getting the sound and the tuning, because we're in E-flat tuning in case you are new to this little series. And let's get to a close-up, check out how to play it. Okay, let's take this one riff at a time. So the first part, very, very similar to the first solo. So if you've learned the first solo, which I'm kind of assuming you have, we don't need to spend too much time on that. So 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And now it's going to start getting considerably different. Okay, so 14, 12, probably a flick off, and then to the 11th fret. Then same thing twice, but going to the 14th fret on the 4th string at the end. Okay, it does that twice. Then we've got this riff, which to me it sounds like it's an overdub. It's a slightly different guitar sound, and I can't see him doing any changes to the pickup or anything like that live at that point. So I think it's an overdub. And there's a couple of approaches to playing it. I've always thought it was this. So first finger on the 11th fret of the 3rd string, semitone ghost bend, release, 12th fret, then a semitone bend again. So your first finger is going to move back to the 11th fret, semitone bend but as a ghost, play it, release, second finger on the 12th fret of the 4th string, then 11th fret, semitone bend. Now we've got a note D before that gets released. Now I've always played it with my little finger up on the 15th fret, which is a kind of an awkward stretch, okay? So I suspect that's not how Slash did it, but it's what works for me. So you might want to try that. Okay, just make sure after you've played that note that you use one of your fingers there to touch the string to mute it. Otherwise you get that little noise as the little finger lifts off. One of these string noises is probably going to ring out. So. Okay, I've jumped over and I'm resting my fingers there on the strings to make sure I keep them quiet. I did manage to catch one glimpse of Slash playing this lick, and it looked like he did it this way. Which is obviously a lot easier. Just still doesn't quite sound right for me. There's something about doing it and having that little stretch that seems to make it awkward in a good way and make it sound like the record. But, you know, if I caught a glimpse of Slash doing it this way, it's more than likely this is how he's doing this particular lick. So second finger on the 11th fret of the 3rd string, ghost bend for a semitone, 3rd finger on the 12th fret, 11th fret semitone bend, and then first finger comes off to go on the 10th fret of the thinner string, then back and do the release. It's getting that, it never seems to have the same effect as if I do it on the 2nd string. It tonally, I'm not sure what's going on there, but there's two options for you. So either this or depending on which one you want to do for that particular lick. Okay, then we're back to the melody. really nice little stuff going on here. I'm going to talk about the slides as well, because it's a, you know, it's a very subtle thing. You wouldn't have to stick with it, but if you listen to it carefully, you'll hear them in there. So 14 to 12, flick off on the 3rd string, 11th fret, same thing. But then we're straight into a bend here, probably with the 2nd finger on the 14th fret, 3rd string tone bend. 3rd finger on the 15th fret, on the 2nd string, you play that twice. The 2nd time you slide down to the 13th fret. So here, 14, 12, 11, 14, tone bend, 3rd finger. Okay, and that's just held. And then there's the same finger, 3rd finger, sliding from 15th to 17th. 17 again. And then a slide. Now that one could be a slide or a flick off, it's difficult to tell. Okay, let's go through that section up to that point now. So, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, lovely little section here now. 1st finger, semitone ghost bend, relax, 12th fret, 12th fret. So 1st finger's got to skip across those strings, not easy. Making sure that you've got to keep, you don't want with all of these other strings ringing out at that point, okay? So trying to keep it nice and quiet by just letting your finger kind of dance over and roll onto the next string while maintaining contact with the string you've just left. That's a good way of thinking about the silence. But as well, this hand, remember, it's going to be doing a lot of string muting, particularly on the thicker strings. Really, really big deal. So let's go through from that 2nd section now. Just one little riff to go now. Really nice one it is too. So 3rd finger, 14th fret, tone bend, ghost, relax to the 12th fret. Now similar to what the lick that we had in the 1st solo, 14th fret is probably going to be the 2nd finger, 15th fret. It's almost a ghost. You hear a bit of it going up. Relax the bend, then shift it up 2 frets. Tone bend at the 17th fret. And then little finger, while that's still going, little finger's going to go down on 17th fret of the thinner string. Great, I love Slash's guitar playing. Such a tasty lick. Okay, let's go through that whole solo nice and slow now. So 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 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 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2. So I had to concentrate at the end there, and I had to stop counting. But that very last part, the very last bit, it's 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. So this is coming down 4 and. It's a little bit weird. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. And then this is coming just after 1, the last note. Again, be careful with vibrato on that as well. You want to get it in tune and then just let it ring out. So one more time at regular speed and I think we're good. Now I find myself saying this over and over again, but it's really, really important, which is the reason I keep repeating myself, and that is you've got to try playing these solos along with the original recordings, right? Trying to get all of those bends in tune, trying to get the timing right, the feel of it right, the right vibrato, the right touch, is something that you learn by playing along with the original solos. It's what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. We've been working on this tune, so playing along with the solos, trying to make it feel like it's just the one guitar that's playing. So while I'm playing, if I hear something different, if I'm not synchronizing well with what he's done, whether the bend wasn't right or whether the timing wasn't right, it stands out. And I'm like, oh, I need to work on that little bit. So I'll go back, listen a few times to what that is, look at what it is that I'm playing, make sure that I'm doing it the right way, that I know what's happening in that particular point in the solo, and then try and play around just on that little bit for a while and try and get that part right, and then work on the whole solo again. You know, it's the way to try and really absorb more than just what the notes are, because these solos are cooler than that. It's not just playing the notes right, otherwise computers would be cooler than us, right? There's something else, something human in the expression of it. I know I'm going into hippie territory here again, but there's something about the expression that comes through the music that by playing along over and over again with an original recording, you can kind of absorb that stuff if you're looking to absorb it. If you're not, then it won't happen. But if you're trying to really capture those nuances, the little things, just by being aware and listening a lot, listening to yourself and listening to the original recording, you'll start to cop those things. And I think that's a pretty big deal. You know, obviously you've got to get the notes right and you've got to get your bends in tune, and it's kind of technical stuff. But beyond that, there's a stage as well that is something that I think is worth paying attention to, particularly on these, like this is a real masterpiece of rock guitar. This is going to be famous as far as rock guitar goes forever, and the reason for that is because it's incredible. It's incredible playing, wonderful parts, brilliantly played. Just everything about it is worth studying, and these kind of tunes they'll help you grow as a musician if you put a bit of time in it. I feel more enriched as a musician for the study I've done on this tune for the last couple of weeks. You know, I learned the song badly 25 years ago, but going through now, and as I feel like I have to learn it fairly carefully to explain it to you guys, you know, I'm learning as well, and I think there's a lot of good stuff in these hills if you're going to mind for it. So anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed playing this song with solo. There'll be more parts for Sweet Child of Mine coming very soon. Please subscribe if you dig what I do, and remember there'll be loads of notes and links to related techniques and stuff like that over on the website, so do go and check that out. Your support is always appreciated. Tripping over my words a little bit, it's getting late. Anyways, have a great one, and I'll see you very, very soon for plenty more. Bye bye.